Yeah, I can hear the music, I can feel the music, Louis.
Residents of Key Biscayne don't like the noise or the traffic.
Unacceptable invasion of privacy for the residents of Key Biscayne.
They continue to come in their neon bathing suits, glittered faces, hoping to get into the Ultra Music Festival. It goes all weekend long. It's going to be a wild one.
Let's just get this straight. My shit works. I said, Colonel fucking Sanders blew the power.
Literally people sleeping in the grass.
Hello.
We'll see. I want to preface this video by saying it wasn't that bad. At least not for me. Some people really could not stand the negatives and they're never going back to Ultra. For me personally, I actually didn't mind all the negative aspects. It added to the adventure. It gave me stories to tell. A lot of people were trying to compare it with like Fire Festival and that doesn't make any sense. It really wasn't that bad. I'll go into all the negative aspects here in a bit. I would like to start by saying that this was my first Ultra. I think it was my first ever like really big music festival as well. So being around 100,000+ people, it's no surprise that I caught the fest flu, which led into having pneumonia, and my voice is still pretty jacked up from that. So apologies, it'll probably take a couple more days before it's back to normal, but what can you do? Ultra 2019. I like to think Ultra Worldwide puts on some pretty reputable events. They've only been around for 1 billion years and pulling up $1 jillion, so it's only fair to assume that if you go to an Ultra Worldwide event, it's probably gonna display some semblance of their idea of quality. I mean, they've set the bar pretty high. When I think of EDM festivals in the United States, the two biggest names that come to mind are like EDC and Ultra. Maybe that's just me. Maybe other people are like, no, it's Electric Forest and Bono. Statistically speaking, though, EDC trumps Electric Forest in attendance, but we're not going to get into specifics. Yes, we are. Now, I've been to a lot of large events in my day. Not all of them have been music festivals. I think a majority of them have just been like conventions, comic book conventions, gaming conventions. I've helped even plan some and volunteer for some, so I'm pretty well versed in the basics of event planning. So if I offer some criticism on that front, you can assume that I have at least 5% credibility in that field. November 2018. The Miami City Council votes to move Ultra from its home of 20 years, Bayfront Park, and banish it to the island across the way, Virginia Key. The island that has one road in and one road out, for an event that houses 100,000+ people every year. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a conundrum. Of all the conundrums I've ever endured in my life, this has to be at least one of them. Apparently the world decided that there wasn't enough parking lot festivals, so that's where we sent Ultra, to the parking lot of the Marine Stadium. How are we going to get onto that island, and more importantly, how are we gonna get off? What would the wait times be for the shuttles? Lyft can't pick us up? You're telling me Lyft can't pick us? Oh, thank God. Oh, they're gonna have ferries. Wait, what? I already spent so much in air travel. It seems that all the signs are pointing to this being a logistical nightmare. But don't worry, friends. It's an Ultra Worldwide event. What could possibly go wrong? Now, I already showed a montage of the chaos. I can't do that again. I just want to give mad props to everybody who participated in the Ultra 5K. Seriously, that night people were uploading videos of the crowd walking on that bridge and I couldn't stop laughing. I probably shouldn't have laughed though, because transportation for us the next night was just god-awful, so I'm assuming that's probably just karma. To be fair though, Ultra only had just shy of 5 months to plan this whole thing, so all things considered, they actually handled transportation pretty well. What they handled exceptionally though was selling a 5-minute stage slot to DJ Colonel. Oh, it's just the best thing I've ever seen. Where were you when DJ Colonel Sanders took the stage?
Give it up for
never forget the immense amount of cringe that just sort of radiated through the crowd. It was so awkward. So I've never seen so many people power walk away from the main stage. In the moment, we didn't know what was going on at first. We're just like, is there really a DJ named Colonel Sam? It's really not that funny. Okay. Next topic, stage placement. I've never been to Ultra in the past, so I don't know how bad sound bleeding was back then. But like this time it was just bad. I remember there was a part of the festival that I could stand in, and if I stood right in the middle of this like area, I could hear sound bleeding from 3 different stages. It was a little annoying, but like the worst part was like the space for crowds at each stage. The worldwide stage had no space. In the past there was like open areas on either side so that people could just sort of filter in and out, and there was some freedom to move around. But this time it was just one side, and the sound quality for that stage was just terrible. The live stage was a little bit better. The structure is what really helped with the crowds and sound quality. But if the crowd got too big, it would like overflow outside of the structure. And if you had to stand outside of the structure to watch the show, you would hear all the sound bleeding from the other stages, like hardcore. Now I know at every festival there's a certain amount of sound bleed. I mean, when you have that much bass going on at once, you're gonna hear some of it from other stages. But I think at this point I've been to enough festivals to be able to say that that was the worst case of sound bleeding I've ever heard. So if there's one thing that bothered me more than the transportation issues, it was definitely the stages. A few other quick gripes. There definitely wasn't enough water refill stations in the main area. The distance between Resistance Island and the main area was like 1.5 miles, and I can walk the distance, it just wasn't enjoyable. And the obscene amount of Instagram bitches paid to be there to give everyone else FOMO. Look, I know at every big event there's gonna be Instagram bitches, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna hate them any less. All of that said, it was still one of the better weekends of my life. Honestly, all the adversity just added to the fun, and I took everything in stride. Except for when it was like 5 in the morning and I was still waiting to get on a shuttle, and I was super hungry and they weren't offering food and they didn't have bathrooms or water, so everyone was just sort of dying in line. And it was just a shitstorm. Given all the popularity and press Ultra has, I was expecting this really big, glorified, amazing event, but all I got was every other festival I've been to on a larger scale. The production quality wasn't that much better, it was just bigger. So would I pay the money to come back again? If I had excess money to spend, sure, I'll find an excuse to go to a festival, but if I had to pick and choose and budget, no, I obviously wouldn't go back to Ultra. I mean, come on. They sent us like this little box for the wristbands this year, and like, it's cool, but if you compare it to the box that EDC gives you and all the swag you get from EDC, like Ultra sent us 1 pair of fucking earplugs. I bought 2 wristbands and they sent us 1 pair of earplugs. Meanwhile, ADC sends us like 2 bandanas, a bunch of stickers, a keychain, a patch, fucking book. And the box it comes in is like massive and super high quality. Oh, it's just amazing. And the worst part is I spent more on the Ultra tickets. Hindsight's 2020, yeah? Speaking of EDC, if you also attended Ultra and you happen to run into me at EDC, be sure to let me know so I can hook you up with your participation trophies. Alright friends, I hope you enjoyed my video about Ultra. There's probably a lot more that I have to say about it, but I've rambled on for far too long at this point, so might as well end it here. If you guys enjoyed this video, cool. Alright friends, I will see you all in the next upload. Remember to be safe, test your shit, and stay hydrated.
Super appreciate it. Drive safe, walk safe. do what you gotta do. All right, late. I'm gonna go get drunk, very drunk, and I'm gonna eat some KFC. I get paid every time I say that.
Yeah, the robots on stage and the gases. Oh boy, Todd, good luck getting home.
What are your biggest concerns?
That I cannot leave the island.
You feel trapped?
I feel trapped. I feel trapped.